Welcome to episode 46, season 2 of the Bulls Recap Podcast. I'm Joe Colley of the Chicago Sun-Times. You can follow me at Sun-Times. You can buy the newspaper, which is even better. You can follow me on Twitter, X, whatever you want to call it, at jcolleyhoops. We got a schedule. So I know my life from October till mid-April, because it will be done in mid-April, trust me. And like we did last year, I think when we did the schedule show, we had the crime dog. Let's bring the crime dog in for schedule 26, 27. I mean, so I got this thing, and you open it up right away, and you're like, all right, where am I starting off? What's the first road game? What's the first home game? Then you start looking at the holidays to see how it's going to affect your life. I didn't even make, and then I look at the trade deadline. Where are they at for the trade deadline? I didn't even get that far. I looked at the first month, like basically kind of like up till December 3rd. And I'm like, these cats are freaking screwed. This is the most brutal. I mean, the NBA did them no favors as far as easing in with a new look roster and at least one starting rookie. And, I mean, it is absolutely a freaking nut kick for the first month of this. I mean, basically till December 3rd, till the NBA Cup starts. It is freaking brutal.
It's not just like, hey, a taste of the East, right? It's no, 2 with Boston, 2 with Philly, 2 with New York. The Spurs sprinkled in there. Cleveland for a couple. I mean, there's no like one of this, one of that, a little ease up here. It's just bam, 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 punch, 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 punch. It is. I mean, how about these? Look at this 6-game stretch. You should. I mean, you're probably going to go over it, but that early 6-game stretch after the first 3, after the home opener, is
brutal, brutal. So I obviously. It's all out there at Toronto to open up, which, who knows if the Kawhi Leonard thing even goes through, what kind of fines or fees they'll be doing. If Kawhi's even out, fine. That's fine. I mean, that's not a great place to start because it's still, even without Kawhi, it's a possible playoff roster. Your one game where you get to say, okay, let's go take care of business is game 2 at Milwaukee. It's a 2-day trip, or a 2-game trip. You start off in Toronto. Don't know what they are yet. You go to Milwaukee, which to me, we've talked about them in previous podcasts. They are a team the Bulls should finish ahead. And I love their pieces. They have like depth of pieces because of the Giannis trade. I love Braden Burries. I've talked about him, and he's a Rookie of the Year candidate. And so that's a team you should beat. After that, I don't think they'll be favored they might be favored in Brooklyn November 18th. I don't see them favored in another game until December 16th, Utah.
I mean, I know we think we know what Washington is, but maybe November 20th against Washington, maybe.
Yeah, I mean, well, they've got the home opener with Washington October 24th.
I'm talking after that one, though.
After that,
because that's what you're saying. Because this is that stretch. Listen to that after the home opener on the 24th.
Right.
At Boston, home against the Knicks. At Boston, at Philly, at the Knicks, home against the Sixers, home against San Antonio, home against Atlanta, at Minnesota, at Cleveland.
Yeah.
Dude, even if you're a good team, that sucks.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Could you be on an 11-game freaking skid going into Brooklyn for the end of a 3-game road trip?
1,000%. But because it's the NBA, like you might be like, you're likely to see some guys resting, right? Like you may see LeBron and Embiid in the first matchup, but not in the second. Like, so maybe they catch one in there, but I mean.
It is, and the NBA Cup games are obviously October 30th, right before Halloween at Boston. That's a Cup game. The home game, Atlanta, November 13th is the second Cup game. Washington, November 20th, the third Cup game. And then at Charlotte, November 25th, right before Thanksgiving. Nice little family reunion with Mr. Kobe White. And so those are the 4 cup games. Obviously, no Christmas for the boys, but even like going right before Christmas at San Antonio, at Dallas, at Miami.
At least you get a trip to Miami for Christmas.
I'll get some warm weather right before Christmas. That's nice. I'm not gonna fight that. Then you come back for one game right after Christmas against Detroit. That's not fun. Although the Pistons may take a sink from last year. And then you got the 29th. You got to go down. I got to go down to Atlanta, just a one-off. That sucks. Their first back-to-back that I can see is not till December 13th, 14th. Houston, Miami, home and home. I don't see another one.
Houston, Miami, 3 and 4.
Oh, no. We got Friday, Saturday, home Atlanta, and then go to Minnesota.
Yeah. There's actually, you have a back-to-back right out of the gate. You got at Milwaukee, home against Washington, but that's an easy.
Yeah. I always think of Milwaukee as just a home game set. A longer drive. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's fair. But I mean, you look for the let-up portion of the schedule, and like you said, it's available. I mean, you can find it anywhere. It doesn't feel like it happens. Like everywhere I'm looking for the opportunity for a breather. Where is it?
This is. I mean, obviously the East is a little bit better. So
right,
we're talking about. We don't know what Indiana is. November 28th, home game against Indiana. What does Halliburton look like? What does that new feel roster look like? Because it feels like we haven't seen Tyrese Halliburton in 5 years. I mean, that's how long it feels. Yeah. I mean, at least Tatum came back from his Achilles. And again, Splitter is going to have his hands full because you're trying to teach a culture, and it'd be nice if you could do it against, have Milwaukee twice, maybe a couple games with Brooklyn, maybe the Wizards a couple times, throw in Memphis. They don't see Memphis till March, and Memphis could be one of the worst teams. I mean, so my goodness, the first from October 21st till early December, even going into Christmas, it is absolutely just brutal.
I mean, like even you get right before Thanksgiving, like your home games, Denver, Cleveland. Then you come out of Thanksgiving, like you talked about the Pacers, but then this is your home stretch. Knicks, Cleveland, Houston, Miami, Utah. So those Utah maybe, but
the saving grace is the NBA Cup games. Those are they kind of match you up with like teams. So if they get their ass beat in pool play, which I could see them
likely
going at best 1-3 in pool play, maybe
2-2, maybe.
They'll get matched up, with a like team on the 20, December, between December 3rd and December 13th. There'll be those 2 games in there, one home, one away. Right. So, so I mean, that's a little reprieve. Plus, you have like a 10-day stretch where you only got the 2 games. That's your recovery time for this team. That's kind of where you say, all right, let's kind of reboot. Maybe lineup changes, maybe, whatever. Who knows? I mean, it's the other big game, obviously. Well, I'm still just kind of going through December.
I'm jumping all over the place on you.
Yeah, I love the fact of get to go see Wemby on December 18th and then a night later. Just little. Here's what's great. And I'm doing this selfishly from a beat reporter standpoint. Every year it seems like the NBA is like, hey, you guys are going to have Dallas, and it's a one-off. Fly your ass down to Dallas, 3-hour flight there, 3-hour. At least they said, hey, you're going to go to San Antonio, then Dallas. Then you get to fly your ass over to Miami for 4 days, 2 games, 4 days. So that is nice right before Christmas, that you don't have that ugly Dallas one-off. I'm sure there's a Houston one-off that means, or no? Is that part of a road trip? No. Oh, yeah, it is kind of because you got at Houston and then at Milwaukee. So that's a home.
Yeah,
I always consider Milwaukee.
That's kind
Chicago,
of a one-off.
Yeah, United Center North is what I like to call Milwaukee. But yeah, I mean, so you get to see Wemby and you get to see Cooper Flag, and then you get to see Giannis in back-to-back games and kind of see what those teams all look like. Is Kyrie playing with Dallas? Is Dallas a legit team in the West? Are they just more of just kind of up-and-comers? And though I will say this, and I just wrote this in the Sun-Times. If everyone wants to jump onto there, I did a breakdown of – I call it hunting season. And here's why I call it hunting season, because Caleb Wilson is hunting guys down. The first one is AJ DeBonsa. That's going to be on October 24th, the home opener. I mean, that's great. I mean, you will get to see the number 1 pick and the number 4 pick in the building for the home opener. So I love that, because I do think Caleb Wilson has games and names circled. He's got games and asses circled, and his intent is to go out there and make sure that, I mean, he's going to try winning every game he can, but he wants to show that he is not only a winning player, but he is the most dominant rookie of this class. That starts October 24th, as I like to call it, the first day of hunting season for Caleb Wilson.
Yeah, and not just – there's your cookie, fans. You get the home opener, a nice little showdown with the number 1 pick, and then everything else is about who the opponent is. I don't remember – you would know before me, but do you remember a stretch – past Thanksgiving that's looked like this?
No. There's the Bulls. This is going to be year. Let's see. My first year was Derrick Rose's am I playing or not playing season, and he didn't play. So that was 2012-13, I believe. So we're talking 14, 15 seasons. I've never seen anything like this. Even with a good team, I've never seen anything like this. This is brutal.
What's funny is like we're looking for the breather, and it literally, and we haven't jumped, but like it feels like you're going to be talking like about a Bulls winning month in March. Like you look at the end of the year, there's Memphis in there twice. You got Milwaukee in there twice. You got New Orleans to end the year. Like there's your Portland's in there. You got like a big chunk from early March through the end of the season that is full of some probably W's, maybe. And it depends, you know, this is post-trade deadline too. Like there's no the Bulls are getting the ease up a little bit there. There's some tough games, but you look at that whole thing from go from Sacramento on March 22nd. It's Sacramento, Orlando, Memphis, at the Clippers, Pacers, at Washington, home against Detroit, at Houston, at Milwaukee, Charlotte, Milwaukee, New Orleans.
And that's your breather.
Yeah.
that's your breather.
And you got to the end of the year.
Yeah. From March 22nd, that's your breather. The other and the date I brought up to you before we got on, trade deadline is February 11th this year.
Yep.
You're going to make your players get on the plane the day before, February 10th, for the start of a 4-game West Coast trip. They may land on Wednesday and be traded by Thursday morning and never even play the game. So they may be ordering their cardboard boxes to be shipped because they're all going to be in Denver.
At the start of a 4-game trip. Yeah. Out west, right.
So even that is not, it's at Denver, at Portland, and then the 2 LA teams back-to-back, Lakers, Clippers. So not a lot of time in LA because it's just a bang bang. So a lot of time in Portland. Yeah, that's a trip to Nike Town. That's a trip to Nike Town.
So you have 28.5 wins is the Vegas win total on this thing. So
I would have said before the schedule release, I think they can challenge that or come close to that. During Summer League, the beat writers, we always kind of kick around. All right, because we're in Vegas. Vegas is saying, 28, 29 wins. And I said, that's a pretty damn good line. That's a good feel. Here's the problem I have now. Once you see the schedule release like this, and I see such just a brutal death march gulag juggernaut to take you to mid-December, these cats may very well be sellers by early February. And then, I mean, I don't see 28.5 wins because they're being such a hole. And then think about it. We've talked about this. This team is built to pull the parachute this year if they want. Yep. Norman Powell, 2-year deal, only 1 year really because the second year is a team option. Jalen Smith, expiring contract. Zach Collins signed a 2-year deal. Second year is a team option. So he's basically a 1-year guy, expiring contract if you want to trade it. So there's a lot of Isaac Okoro, who I think is going to be the top candidate to be traded, number 1 on a list, which could be a list of a handful of guys. I could see them starting to throw cargo out of the sinking ship by early to mid-February before that deadline. And then how are you going to get your 28.5 wins? Because even when the schedule lightens up, you're basically developing. You're going through growing pains with Noah Sengay and Dalen Swain and hoping that Caleb Williams is in this Rookie of the Year campaign. And that's really all you're focusing on is just development. You're not worried about wins and losses. You're worried about development. So I could see this thing being really ugly by the end of January and the Bulls being major sellers. And again, this is just all on paper. Who knows injuries and who gets rested? It's the NBA. You're going to steal some of these games that we're looking at in October and November. You might even burp up a couple of these games that we thought, Washington could be, or at Brooklyn, November 18th could be a win, or at Milwaukee, maybe these young guys take a step that we didn't foresee. So who knows? But just the feel of it on paper, this could just be a get the cargo off the sinking ship ASAP by the trade deadline.
All right. So the schedule's out. I was going to kind of go that way with, we're painting a pretty bleak picture here for obvious reasons. I've looked at the schedule up and down now like eight or nine times in the 20 minutes we've been here together. And I'm waiting for something like, what don't I see? Where's that 5-game gap? And there's not one.
There's nothing.
Give me a best case scenario for the Bulls. We're saying under 28.5, but okay.
But here's always been their best case scenario. Their best case scenario is 28, 29 wins, puts them at 4th, 5th bottom of the NBA. That's their best. That is their best case scenario. And Caleb Wilson has taken a step. The schedule is just a blueprint to what this rebuild really is. It is just kind of where they're going to be and who they're going to compete against that night to help this development. That's all it is. To me, it's a bleak picture because of the gauntlet they have the first 6 weeks. But to me, it's never been about anything except don't be Sacramento. Don't be, who knows what Brooklyn is going to be, or Milwaukee or the Clippers, there's other teams out there that you don't know exactly. I'm trying to think who else. Utah. Sacramento. I said. Be better than those bottom 4 to 5 teams. Be in that 4 to 10 area, where in a class that I think might have about 3 guys that I think are going to be dudes or possible dudes. It's not a deep class. It's not a good draft class, but it's a little better than we first thought. Put yourself in position to add, because that's really what this schedule, it puts you in position. You're in a good position to be in that area. I just don't. I think the best case scenario is being in that 4 to 10, because
you've been consistent.
Any delusions of grandeur beyond that, this schedule basically pulls your pants down and slaps you on the butt and says, welcome to reality. This is brutal.
Here are the teams that have a lower win. So I just found 29.5 for the Bulls. Okay. So based up, going off of the 29.5, 28.5, depends on where you shop. Here are the teams that have a lower than 29.5 wins. Let's see if there's anyone on here that would surprise you. Brooklyn Nets, 24.5.
They'll be high. I think they'll be higher.
You think it'll be higher? We have the Clippers at 27.5.
I think they could be that or lower.
Grizzlies at 28.5, just a tick below the Bulls.
I think they'll be lower.
The Bucks at 26.5.
I think they'll be lower.
The Pelicans are right there with the Bulls at 29.5.
I think the Pelicans will be higher.
The Kings, 20.5.
Yeah, they'll be the worst team.
And then
I think they'll be one of those teams because Zach is finally an expiring contract. That doesn't mean they'll be able to move him, but I could see them completely just shutting him down by February and realizing that they can't even get in that 4 to 10. They'll fight for it. They'll fight for it. I mean, if it's there with Zach, Sabonis, but this is all about Darius Acuff and them making sure that they feel like, yeah, okay, we got one piece, we got one dude. So
that's it. Those are the teams that have projected win total lower than the Chicago Bulls.
I think the Bulls.
But here's the best case scenario. The best case scenario from a fan to me, as a fan or someone who knows the team inside and out, is everything's new. It's not just new paint, right? Like you went in with a new blueprint and redesigned things. So, and you got one, and you already hit the lottery literally by getting the 4th pick. And you might have gotten the best player when it's all said and done. You got a guy that's 4 to 1 to win Rookie of the Year. That is literally a coin flip. You got like 4 or 5 guys kind of all in that 5 to 1 or lower mentality. So Peterson's plus 290, Boozer's 3 to 1, DeBonsa's 4 to 1, Caleb Wilson 4 to 1, and Acuff 5.5 to 1.
Boozer's the easiest one because he's going to get the most opportunity. I mean, you basically you're weighted on 2 things: skill and opportunity. And Boozer has that mix of skill and opportunity. After Boozer, I think Caleb has a chance. I put him second. DeBonsa, Trae Young, and AD are just going to the ball's just going to stop with them too many times for DeBonsa. You know, Con Knippel was the 3rd option for Charlotte, but he also broke an all-time record for rookie 3-pointers and led the league as a rookie in 3. DeBonsa's not going to be able to do that. He doesn't shoot like Con Knippel. So Knippel was kind of an outlier. Peterson's the interesting one because he's going to, if Utah decides he's the point guard and they put the ball in his hands, then because of his scoring ability, then you're also adding the playmaking ability and the numbers. He'll not only have the points, he'll have the assists. That's how he creeps into this. But if he's the off guard in what Utah wants to run, and he and Ace Bailey are kind of having pissing contests over shots, and you still have Markkanen and JJ, and that's going to be tough for him. But if the ball is in his hands, like it was in high school, not at Kansas, to me, he is second to Boozer and jumps Caleb Wilson. Otherwise, I think it's Wilson and Boozer. And you know what? And to your point, I don't think there's one Bulls fan that will be upset if going into that trip to see Wemby and Cooper and then down to Miami, the Bulls, forget the record, Caleb Wilson is averaging 20-9 going into that 4-game road trip before Christmas. Is there a Bulls fan that will be upset with what's going on with the team? No.
Yeah, exactly. I was just going to give you a comp here, and let me be very clear to fans, because they're going to have PTSD when I compare them to anything Tim Floyd and Jerry Krause. But like, go back to when Elton Brand was the number 1 overall pick and won Rookie of the Year. Caleb Wilson is going to be better than that. I think you believe that. They were 17-65 that year, and Elton was like, you had something tangible. And I think that might be, maybe they're better than 17-65, showing signs of development with Modest, et cetera. And it made, quote unquote, a budding superstar with Caleb Wilson, and you win 25, 26 games. Like that, to me, tastes a whole lot better than the last 4+ years of middling, and then figuring out late in the game that you want to be a lottery team and you're stuck at the 9th spot.
And the nice thing too, that people have to take into account, and why the Caleb Wilson Rookie of the Year campaign has more wheels than people realize, even Vegas, is it's not just going to be his numbers, it's going to be the highlights for him. And that's how you catch the attention of the voters. Because he plays above the rim and his game is there's going to be so many wow moments As long as, I mean, obviously, as long as he stays healthy, but I think he's going to have so many wow moments that maybe Boozer has the better numbers or Peterson has the better numbers. But if the numbers are close, the wow moments are going to help pull Caleb Wilson. And I think you'll come out of this season thinking back to that Brand year. Brand, you had the numbers, but it just felt like, okay, he's a solid piece. Caleb Wilson could have the same numbers as Elton Brand did, and you'll come out feeling way better because the highlight package that's going to come with it is, again, you know how I feel about it. It's going to be men realizing they have nipples too. It's going to be one of those, you're going to go into mid-April and you're going to be like, all right, cool. It's over with. Bull season's over with, but I feel really good about things, and it has my attention for the summer and what they do next and the lottery, and it's just going to be build that momentum is going to keep building.
I maybe hate the comp, but I see it as like Matthew Stafford, awesome body of work for the entire season.
I like MVP, and then Caleb. How many times did we see Caleb make the highlight throws? Right, those 7 games of just stupid. The Air Jordan, that's, the Caleb comp. We're going to have fun with Wilson and Williams. People are already messing the names up on sports radio all over the place, but you just said it so eloquently that's what I was thinking about. I was thinking about Caleb running backwards and then throwing to Cole Kmet against the Rams. That's what it's going to feel like when SportsCenter's airing highlights of the Bulls games. They are going to be ISOing Caleb Wilson and saying, find the 3 highlights a game that he's going to provide, and that's our Bulls highlight for the night. Before we get out of here, I was actually thinking about this the other day. 5 years from now, who's bigger and better in Chicago, Caleb Wilson or Caleb Williams?
I mean, history would tell you Caleb Wilson.
If you had to say, all right, now this is where I'd put my money at right now.
Okay. So history, thanks, Cap.
What's Cap's answer? I want to hear his answer.
He says not even close. It's Caleb Williams. I'll say this.
I like Caleb Wilson.
Because of Ben Johnson, I'm picking Caleb Williams. I think if it was Caleb, probably with any other coach, that's not one of the top 3 in the game. Not why am I blanking on Sean McVay? He's just another hot coordinator. I may buy stock in Caleb Wilson, but I think they actually got that right for the first time in franchise history. But it'd be pretty awesome if the answer could be both. It'd be pretty awesome.
We're debating it in 5 years. Like, wow,
that would be. You want to talk about best case scenario for Chicago, for Bulls fans? If you're debating who's the biggest superstar in Chicago, and it's a true debate, and Caleb is a superstar, and Caleb Wilson's a superstar, God knows what could follow Caleb Wilson and the Bulls. Like, then the whole thing's working.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's interesting. Ask Cap what he's going to do this year when Aaron Rodgers and the Steelers have a better record than the Bears. How salty is he going to be?
Joe, I'll bet you any amount of money you want on that.
He wants to bet you any amount of money. We got a live bet happening on the podcast.
We'll do it.
We'll do a dinner. Okay, dinner. You heard it right here on the Bulls Recap Podcast. Cowley versus Cap, Steelers versus Bears, more wins, dinner. That's a deal. I'll be going to the dinner as an attendee no matter what.
100%.
Awesome. All right, brother.
All right, man. Thanks for doing it. This is not an emergency podcast. This is just us getting it done on a day where news kind of broke in the dog days of August, huh?
Yeah, and it's It left you curious and head scratching because it's the first time, as you said, in your illustrious career that you've seen such a dogfight of a schedule, because that thing is brutal, man.
Brutal. So thanks, my man.
Yep.
All right. That's it. We'll wrap this thing up in a nice, pretty bow. Love having the Crime Dog on. Don't forget to subscribe. All things recap. I know Cap's loving the Cubs and what's going on there. Ryan, the Crime Dog's got the White Sox stuff. I mean, it's all happening. So, and of course, I got the Bulls. But until next week, I've got next.